Let's. Good morning and welcome to Coulee Outdoors. I am your host, Brandon Scott. Today is a solo trip on the last day of April. You'll notice the sunglasses are on because I am out in central Washington along the Columbia River, right where I-90 crosses it. We are in Vantage, Washington to come do some stuff in the desert. Specifically, I am at Ginkgo, Ginkgo Petrified Forest State Park. Yeah, I think that's what it is. We're going to go do the backcountry here on the just north of the actual visitor center. I'll spin the camera around, you can see in a second. This is pretty much a wildflower walk along the top of the canyon of the Columbia River, which is now Wanapum Lake. What is there to say? If you get high enough up at around the 1200 elevation area, you might find these really big white and gray rocks in a sea of brown rocks, which aren't supposed to be here. It's from the Ice Age flood, which I can talk about more if I find one. There is another trail you can go take up. I think it's either called the Rocky Coulee or the Hell's Kitchen Trail, which is up further that way. I will also show that when we go walking. And then if I have time, or if I want to, which I do want to, but again, if I have time, which I should, afterwards I'm going to go down to the other end of the state park, down to the Wanapum recreation area and go for swimming at the swim beach there. But yeah, it's going to be about 72 out today out here in the desert versus it's 58 and raining in Seattle today. So yeah, escape to the desert, go see wildflowers before it gets too dang hot out here. It's been a kind of a crazy spring work wise, so it's been hard to get out, but we are also, I guarantee you, next weekend we will be out, hopefully out at Steamboat Rock State Park to go do paddling out there, but that's saving for another time. How much time do I have in this intro? 2 minutes. Okay, good. Let's show it. So the books you would think would have would be 55 Hikes in Central Washington. It does not, in fact, have it. I bet if they would come out with a newer version, they would. What will have it is Best Desert Hikes Washington, hike number 15, Ginkgo Petrified Forest State Park Backcountry, round trip, 5 miles, 3 hours, easy, gain 600 feet up to 1200 feet. You can obviously go a heck of a lot more. The map over here, yeah, let's see if I can get zoomed in enough on it. It's this. I don't have a good map for it because I'm not going to buy every 7-minute quadrangle of the state to show you. So we're parked here. You climb up onto the cliff and you can at least go there, or you can go a heck of a lot further. Eventually there is a fish and wildlife road that connects up here at the back end of the state park that you can continue walking on, or you can drive on and come in via the back way. But the green dot roads, which we go off-roading on consistently enough in Rex-ish, is the inspiration for this, for the channel. But those green dot roads don't open up till May 1st anyway, which is tomorrow, so technically this is the only way in. So like I was saying, the interpretive center, the visitor center, whatever you want to call it, for Ginkgo State Park is up there at that overlook. You might be able to see it right now, but you'll definitely be able to see it when we get up top. I-90 is crossing Wanapum Dam right there, or Wanapum Lake right there. This I'm technically parked in, which you used to not be able to park in, is a Grant County Public Utility District. It's a Grant Public Works area. They developed this in the last couple of years. What do they consider? They call this the Rocky Coulee Recreation Area. There is a couple of pit toilets, a couple of camp spots, some picnic tables, and this is the end of the old Sunset Highway Road, the old way between Spokane and Seattle. Wow, before they put in I-90, this was State Highway 10, and it came down to the river there and crossed up over there before the dam was put in and the Columbia River got turned into a placid lake. You can also might be able to see up there Wild Horse Monument, which at some point I need to go do it. We used to do it all the time as a kid when we go to and from gyms. It's like a 3/4 mile walk up to the top and back. If I ever go do it, or when I ever go do it, I'll post that right there. But also, so this is the old highway. Grade comes in before they put on I-90, and eventually it goes into the water and crosses. But this, according to their map, which we can show, Rocky Coulee Recreation Area, star, bathrooms, camping, a paddling boat launch, wow, disabled access, picnicking, and I guess a fee station? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Yes, it is a fee area versus a Discover Pass fee area. Ooh, this is a separate fee area. I might have to move Rex. So I don't see no pay box. Yeah. Oh, it's probably a pay box for the camping, and just the day use isn't camping. But yeah, so technically I'm in the county parking area, whereas the technical state park trailhead is back up that way a couple hundred yards, and we'll take the road grade up. So that's what we're doing here. But yeah, in the future, wow, this became a really long intro. Oh well. But in the future, now that I know that there's a whole bunch of personal watercraft put in and out spots, then yeah, I might have to come back and do some paddling here. Is there supposed to be, yeah, there's supposed to be swimming areas in some of these too. Down at Priest Rapids, at Sand Hollow, Rattlesnake Cove, and Sunloon Estates. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of, what do they call them? Boat launch, hand launch, which is for kayaks and stuff. So yeah, God, this intro became way too freaking long. Anyway, if we come here and go paddle here down or upstream using one of these hand launch spots, I'll post that right there too. Now let's actually go get on the dang hike. Now this has turned into a 6-minute intro. All right, so you can see that there is a old roadbed going up. This is your technical trailhead here. So if it's busy, I probably should have parked here. But considering there's 3 other cars down in that parking lot with me, and nobody's actually here hanging out, that means they either got on their kayaks and they're paddling out somewhere, or they're doing what I did and parked down there in the actual parking lot. And then we'll begin their hike. So yeah, probably should park over here, but I didn't. Park your own discretion. If I get a ticket, I will let you know. But yeah, so you gotta climb 600 or 700 feet up out of the canyon onto the benchlands, and then you can saunter for however far a distance you want. It is springtime, so gizzard already. Heck yeah. So yeah, it is warm. The reptiles will be out. The rattlesnakes will be out in force by now. Considering we saw a couple of danger noodles coming out when we were out hiking along Crab Creek, which is just to that direction, a scant 10 or 15 miles a month ago. The snakes will be out. They will be sunning themselves or near rocks. So as long as you stay out in the open, you can see the bare ground in front of you, you should be okay. The other thing is, it is spring, so you gotta watch out for the ticks. Hence why, even though it's gonna be 75 degrees, I have long pants on to try and keep them from getting directly onto my skin. If you're really worried about it, you should probably also put gaiters on to seal out your insides. But I feel pretty okay about this. I usually do pretty good tick checks after I'm hiking anyway. So yeah, wow. Look at how glassy calm Wanapum Lake is right now. Yeah, that'd be a great day to be paddling out here. Definitely have to add it to the paddling list, which I tagged in the extra long intro, so that's fine. So I tagged Wild Horse, I tagged kayaking down here. I guess, yeah, you can see they got some campsite pads set up down there. There's some picnic tables down there. And like I said, the end of the road also has a hand launch. You can literally launch it on the old road grade as it disappears into the lake. Right, so after about half a mile of climbing, we've gained 250 feet or so, and I think we're about to leave the road cut behind. Another look over there, absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm hunting for wildflowers like those. I'm looking for cooler stuff. I want some balsam root, which I can see an ass load of in the hills. Looking for balsam root, looking for lupin, looking for cacti. That's something I did not get video of last spring, was any cacti blossoms. And I would very much like to get some cacti blossoms. But yeah, it's late April, so wildflowers are in full bloom. And if anything, down here by the river, they're past their prime and almost done. And as you can see, why it's called a desert wander is because there usually ain't much of a trail. It's just, I mean, you can follow other people's boot paths, but it's pretty much open range wandering where you see fit. And we'll occasionally get views of the river, but we're just gonna be cruising. How far will I go? I don't know. Hopefully I can find a spot where I can look over the river out here somewhere and have lunch. If not, I can go back to one of those overlooks there where the road climbs out, and then we'll go swimming. But yeah, I figured I'd show you what it looks like once we get first out on here. And then we'll go find some flowers. Yeah, it's already pretty brown up here, so definitely, if you wanted green grass, should have probably been out here 2 weeks ago. But the flowers are still flowering. Look, huh? People even started stacking some cairns. Got a cairn right there. Not that it'd be super hard to figure out. You got to come up, and the river's on your right, so you want to get to your right, which means you got to go around this in cut here anyway. We'll see if we get over to the river. Because I've seen some already, I figured I'd point it out to you. This does not belong here. In a sea of basalt. This is, what is that? Some metamorphosed sandstone. Quartzite, I think is what it's called. Yeah, I know, my geology's a little, my geologicals is a little rough, but I think that's quartzite, which is what you get when you take sandstone and bury it underground very deep and cook it up with heat and pressure and metamorphose it, which is why it's so sparkly. That does not form anywhere near here. The nearest quartzite is up in the Okanagan. I think not even on the Washington side of the Okanagan. So that came from 400, maybe 500 miles away. Which of course, if you've seen this channel, been watching any of the desert adventures in this channel, you know how. This is all sculpted out by massive flooding at the end of the last ice age. Long story short, Clark Fork of the Columbia River that flows through Missoula, Montana, got blocked up by fingers of the continental glacier. And every once in a while, one of those fingers would break, letting huge swaths of water from glacial Lake Missoula that had been dammed up come downstream. And even as it got all the way down here, almost 800 miles away, a wall of water was still 200 to 300 feet high and hauling ass at 100 miles an hour. Just carves up everything. That's how we get all this. That water notch there was formed as it had to find a way through because it couldn't backtrack 40 miles upstream. It just came through and ate through and ate through and blasted through. Oh, this isn't the trail continuation. This is just the hangout spot. A couple of woodpeckers of some sort. Oh yeah. And that is what a glassy Columbia River looks like. And I think I'll be doing my long exposure from over there on the way back. But obviously that was just a side spurt. Daisies and daisies. Have some arrowleaf balsam root over here. But haven't seen much in the way of lupin or phlox yet. All the yellow out in the distance is balsam root, which is, I think, at the tail end of its prime. Like I said, late April is usually kind of late. You really want to be out here mid-April because blooms happen quickly in the desert. And I think I'm just gonna overland because you can. It's open for roaming. See how many ticks I pull off myself now that I bailed off of the scant trail. Also walking into these rocks, watch out for rattlesnakes. They're going to be out and about. The problem with going off trails, eventually you run into thicker, brushier locales. And you got to cut through the grass, find your way out. And that's when you find the ticks and the snakes. So let's just cut back over here to where I think the trail is continuing along northward. north towards Canada-ish. Ooh. Ah, yeah, see, I'm way too late even for this. Larkspur, past prime. Then again, we're only at 1,000 feet of elevation. If you're to go back up towards Ellensburg and stay out that direction, I was just getting ready to go. It's all about elevation, how much time it's had to cook out here. Shoot, we might not get anything. We might be too late, YouTube. We'll keep cruising though. Spotted. I'll point it out to you in a second after I get a picture and go to video. But there, just below the notch on the skyline, is a bighorn sheep. That might, and when there's one, there's usually a couple. So let's see if we can find anybody else. She doesn't think she's spotted. She doesn't want to move and give herself away. Little does she know, she is spotted. This is what I was hoping to. I have seen them out here a couple of times in the springtime when we have gone off-roading. When I first got Rex back in the spring of 2017 when I was still in college, and we off-roaded out here in all these lands further north of us. So I know they're out here. Oh yeah, she's moving her head. She sees me. I mean, I'm in a bright blue t-shirt. I'm assuming she sees me. The fact that she's alone though. She had to have heard the marmots. Why is she by herself? I mean, she's pulled herself away from the rest of the herd somewhere so she could have her baby in this draw. I really do hope you see her, YouTube. It's right there. That light spot right there at my fingertip. It's not a mirage. She's moving her head and watching me. The fact that there's only one, she must either be trying to or have had a baby right there. But usually bighorn sheep are pretty mobile pretty quickly. Hell yeah. Alright, that makes today worth it. Even if it's just the one, the rest of them might be down on the cliffs between us and the river. That's so weird though. Only one. Sick. That makes me happy. That makes me really happy to see that. And we're starting to get into some sagebrush. Well, I'm not sure if this is sagebrush. Rabbit brush, I think is what it actually is. Anyway, it's getting more vegetated, so the snakes might be more, the ticks might be more, but it also hopefully means more variety of the wild flowers. So we shall see. 1.6 miles in, and we're coming into the sage, and it's getting a heck of a lot more exciting. The bighorn sheep is there, but as soon as we walk in, we get, I'm not sure if this is sage or not. Nope, doesn't smell like sage. I don't know what it is, but you got whatever this flower is coming in. You got little yellow flowers there. You got these really pale yellow sage flowers there. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see some bright pink tucked in over there, which is phlox. Oh, here we go. Here's some phlox right next to the road. So yeah. So if you're disheartened by walking through that plain Jane grass bullcrap for the first mile and a half, when you get into the sage, things get a lot more exciting. It's a lot more varied. It also means there's that much more water and protection for things to grow. So you got the big boy sage. Oh, it smells effing amazing. You've got, wow, arrowleaf balsam root, which is the bigger flowers there. You got the pinky flowers there, which is phlox. I'm not sure what this little daisy-like flower is there, but it's all related to balsam root. So this is what the balsam root looks like before it flowers. That's why it's called arrowleaf. So it's got big arrow leaves there. Perfect. But they're all related to each other. They're all daisies / sunflowers. They're the two main groups. And of course the phlox. Oh yeah, much better. Oh, you know what this is? I remember reading about it in the description. It says there's some sort of rare endemic species of onion plant that grows in this area. And that is suspiciously onion looking. So that might be what that is. Looks like we're about a week too early to see it in full bloom. Ooh, there's some larkspur, I think. Or that might be the onion. That might be the onion. It's this purpley flower. Oh, that's definitely onion. Look at the long skinny leaves. Oh, this is the onion plant with some phlox right next to it. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Is that good in frame? Yeah, that's perfect in frame. Oh baby. All right, let's see if my phone wants to play games or if it'll let me take a picture. Nope, it won't let me take a picture. Cool. That's one of the other things that's been sidelining these. Long story short, credit card got swiped at a restaurant a couple months ago, so it had to swap it out for a new one. And ever since then, Apple's been playing games with my phone and wouldn't let me put it back in to get the storage space back when I got the storage space back, but it still won't let me take any more pictures even though I've got 2 terabytes of storage. It says I've reached my limit and I cannot get any more pictures on my phone. So the social media portions that normally go along with this may not get very much action, but you know what? The YouTubes is where it's at. Look at that. That is a beautiful, 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 beautiful. Oh yeah, this is what it's about. Yep. All right. Much happier now. Would love to see some larkspur. Because if you remember, when I went out to Drumheller Channels this time last year, tagged the video right there, we were walking through the sagebrush the entire time and there was tons of larkspur scattered with the phlox and the balsam root. But this time around, it's whatever this little yellow flower is. And oh, distracted. Is that what I think it is? Nope, I have no idea what that is. But it's another small desert wildflower. Ah, get your big old fat butt out of the sun. That. No idea what that is. And because my phone thinks it's got too much shit on it, it won't let me take any pictures because iPhones for like the last 2 or 3 years, lizard. Hop, 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 hop. Hop, 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 hop. Sorry, Gizzard, I gotta scare you. Hi. Will you let me get you video? Sick. But yeah, so iPhones, I don't know if Samsungs do it too or not, but for the last couple of years, if you take a picture of like a flower or a plant or a fish or something, it'll tell you what it is or what it thinks it is, and then you can go cross-reference it. It's usually a pretty good starting point. So yeah, getting lots of birds, lots of flowers. I mean, we've also gained elevation. I've gone up 600 feet now, so we're up around 1,300 feet of elevation now, which helps. No danger noodles yet, which I'm here nor there about. I would love to get danger noodle on video, but that comes with the risk of stepping on a danger noodle or getting bit by a danger noodle. That I can go without. It's not walking between. Oh man, look at that river. Lake, but you know what I mean. Yeah, baby. There's a good money shot there. Doesn't got any wildflowers in view, and you can't see the bridge itself, but you can see cliff, 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 cliff all the way down. Some flower there, I don't know what it is. So we are at just about 2 miles exactly, and it says a 5-mile round trip, so the recommended stopping point is up here fairly soon, and it might be at this. There's something up here on the map called Hole in the Wall, so a hole in the cliff somewhere, which I'd like to get a view of, but I have no idea how far. I haven't looked at the map recently. I hiked recently to see how far that is, so who knows. Let's actually do that right now. So yeah, there's whatever it is, Frenchman Coulee recreation area. Oh, hole in the wall is in this cliff up here. He says, I wonder if this is when the trail peters out too. And if it does, that's fine. 5 miles is fine. It's almost 1 o'clock. Oof. That second mile took even longer. It's taking me over an hour to walk 2 miles. Oh well. Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock. Still need to go back to Rex and go for a swim. But I might be setting up shop here. Especially with the sun at my back. If I can get down in between a couple of these rocks and get in the shade, where I can have the GoPro in the shade too. Something hole in the wall. Let's go off trail and see if we can see, because it's supposed to be in this covey area here. So here's this side canyon, and I can't see at the moment because the trail's so faint, but I think the trail comes, oh, there's a deer ridlining itself right there. Deer or a sheep, too far away to tell, but I think it's a deer. It doesn't look nearly stocky enough. Hole in the wall. Supposedly. Oh my goodness, this goes, I mean, duh, it's gonna go straight down. It's salt cliffs. I'm not seeing no hole in the wall. It might be a feature way down up against the water that you just won't ever be able to see. Problem is it's not cliffy enough to find a good spot like over there, maybe to sit up against the rock and shoot video, which we can keep going exploring, but I'm definitely gonna poke around here some more and see if I can't find a spot. Because that's Frenchman Coulee over there, and that's, I don't know, Sunland Estates or something. Let me open Google Maps and see what it says it is, which is a development. Vantage Highway, I know that. Scroll. Yep, Sunland Estates, haha. And at this end of Sunland Estates, right in front of the houses, there's Rattlesnake Cove, which is another Grant County Public Utility Department hand launch and swim area and stuff. So Grant County's done a good job of developing up and down the Columbia River, having little recreation areas where you can come hang out and enjoy. Because, you know, if they put in a couple of $1,000s worth of work, whatever, 5 or 10 grand worth of work, to put in a boat launch, some parking spots, and a couple of picnic tables, you'll A, get the people who actually live in Grant County to come out and about and enjoy their county more, making them happier, and B, you'll get, and from the county's perspective, a good idea. Maybe the locals might not like it too much, but from the county's perspective, you'll get more out of county tourism from, you know, West Siders like me who live in the rain and want to come out here and enjoy the sunshine. If you stick a boat launch and a picnic area and a campground every 5 or 10 miles up and down the river, that gives me plenty of opportunities to do things like swimming and boating and paddling and kayaking and all this other stuff that normally I couldn't come and do. And every time someone like me comes out to come do that, that means that's pretty, whatever that is, it's past its prime. That also means that I'll come out and I'll have to probably stop at your gas station or stop in a Kittitas County gas station to get gas. And there's even more likeliness that eventually I'll start looking up restaurants to go eat at. Or if I'm out here longer than I thought I'd plan on, I'd have to stay in a hotel somewhere maybe. And so on and so on and so on. Therefore bringing more tourism and more dollaros to your county. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. Pretty flower. You know, I get more areas to access public lands, whether they be county, state, federal, whatever, so I get more recreation opportunities, and the county who provides it gets more tourism peoples coming out and more tourist dollars. So they got to invest a little bit up front, but once you invest it, a little bit of upkeep it'll take, it'll keep paying you back in spades. I don't know what that white flower is that I'm seeing all of a sudden a lot of. And of course, I can't take a picture of it with my phone. And also, it kind of looks like You can see this was a flat spot, and no, actually no, it's not. But it kind of looks like the trail cuts up and comes out of the canyon. I think it gets up on top. There's a hell of a lot of flowering going on up there. I'm not sure I want to go on and get up top. I don't think I have time for that. If and when we come back out next time, and I'll tag that right there, if and when we come out next time, maybe earlier in the month of April, and I bring more people, and you know, we're actually here at like 8 o'clock in the morning and we have time to continue further past this point, and yeah, we'll go up and continue on going up. But I want to go swim. I want to go hang out by the lake, take a nap, read my book, do all that kind of shit. It's also 1 o'clock and it's going to take me probably about an hour or two to get back to Rex because I got to take long exposures. So we'll come to the head of this canyon here. I think that's a chunk of petrified wood right there. We're going to go investigate that. And then I'll probably turn this off, turn back around, go find a spot, like I said, in that breaks over there maybe, to take a long exposure, or at least go take a long exposure from, oh, nope, that's the onion. I think that's the onion, not the, yeah, there's more onion flowers there, tucked in there in that sage. Anyway, then I'll take some long exposures back there somewhere, have some lunch, and go for a swim. Because it looks like this trail is going to come up and out of the canyon, versus it could have gone that way-ish somewhere. But I think there's a chunk of petrified wood over here. Oh, there is. Oh, baby. Oh. Don't ever take this home, YouTube. I'm not going to, and you're not going to. That's a big... Damn, I really wish my phone could take a picture. That is a big chunk of petrified wood. And it's about to roll into the canyon. So what I think I will do is find a couple of rocks to stick behind it so it can't continue rolling downhill. Yeah. Damn, that's big. Here, let's put, look at it, you can see the burl in the wood too. Let's put hat down for scale. Oh yeah. Yep, this is what you hope to find, an erratic and or a big old chunk of wild petrified wood. Oh, that's so cool. Wish there was a danger noodle underneath it, but that's okay. So let's do this. Let's take this rock, this big old chunk of basalt, and get it up here to hold, ow, sharp, ow, heavy, sharp. Stick that there. Now that I cut up my hand in the GoPro carrier, but not the GoPro. There, now it hopefully, the flat side of the rock down, hopefully that won't roll anywhere and disappear. That's sick. That'll work. Cool. All right, so what are we at? Yeah, 2¼ miles. So yeah, you continue on up the trail. You'll probably go up and continue going around to the road eventually. But I'm not doing that today. I'm gonna go get back on the trail, shoot some video of the river from up top, and go for a swim. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are they sheep or are they pronghorn? I don't think there's pronghorn here. It's not deer. Deer aren't gonna herd up like that. It's either bighorn sheep or it's pronghorn. I'm pretty sure it's bighorn sheep. Well, shit. Wilderness list. I actually talked about that, so now I'm into actual specific heights. Okay, that's fine. We can watch them for a few more seconds. Hell yeah, dude. Let's get fun again. Herd of bighorn sheep on top of Babcock Bench in Ginkgo State Petrified Forest along the Columbia River. Oh, there's the one, solo one. She's over there still. But there's the herd coming to see her. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that makes me so happy to see the rest of the herd. Cool, this video's good. And I caught it just at the right time, too. Alright, anywho. Columbia River at the Interstate 90 crossing at Vantage, Washington. Do the outro. Thank you for joining me on this Coulee Outdoors Desert Wanderers adventure, where we hiked the Ginkgo Petrified State Forest backcountry along the Columbia River to, I don't know if that draw has a name, but on the old map it says there's hole in the wall down there, or hole in the rock, so we'll call it hole in the rock draw, Coulee, canyon, whatever. It's about 5 miles round trip. We gained about 700 feet in cumulative elevation that we now have to drop back down. Most of it's here at the very beginning / end. Ratings. Accessibility. It is a grand 2 miles, or 2 hours of all highway driving until the very... Gizzard. Is he going to move? No, he is not going to move. It is all, except for the very, very last 1.5 miles. It's all highway driving. So if I-90 is open, odds are you can come do it. And it's only 2 hours away, but most people don't think about it because usually in the summer, which is going to be in about 3 more weeks, it'll be 95 degrees out and too damn hot. Or in the winter, it is, oh god, there it is. It is like 15 degrees out here and it is windy and gross. So you got to catch it in the spring or in the fall when it's nice out. So accessibility, I'm giving it 5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. 2 hours of highway driving. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ah, that's the palette I was thinking of. Difficulty. 5 miles round trip. I sweated for a little bit, but mostly I'm sweating because it's warm out. This elevation gain isn't too difficult. It's switchback. It's an old switchbacky road grade, so it's fairly steep. But once you get up on top here after the first half mile, it is pretty close to flat. So I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. Enjoyment. Yeah, I'm at the tail end of wildflower season up here. Should have been out here in the middle of April instead of the last day of April. But I got to see bighorn sheep. a herd of them, in fact, which is fairly common to see out here. The scenery is amazing, and I found a massive piece of petrified wood in the wild. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5 stars. If I would have got here with better wildflowerage, I'll give it 3 stars. But yeah, I say it's all pretty good. Would I come back and do this again? Yeah, I would. This is one of the better, I think this is one of the better desert hikes. It's not that difficult. You get really nice views, and if you come at the right season, you also get some pretty good wildflowers. And as you can tell, the weather is amazing. At the same time of year, the wildflowers are out. So yeah, I would come back out here and do it again. That way I can get more wildflower videos. What are we doing next? Well, a friend of mine, her parents are coming to visit from Ohio this weekend, and they originally wanted to go up to the mountain, Rainier, but you know, it's May, so it's not snowed out yet, so, and it's also going to rain on Saturday. So if I can guarantee the time off, which I think I will, on this Saturday, so a couple of days, we're going to go out to the ocean where it'll be sunny and 62-ish, and go walking along the beach for the first time in a long time, which is another thing I need to do. I found a big ass book full of beach hikes for the Puget Sound that I need to go start crunching through, but that's a different story. And then after that, the weekend after that, so it's Saturday, 10 days from now, for Nash's birthday, although it won't be on his actual birthday, it'll be a couple days after his birthday. We're gonna go out to Steamboat Rock, and at a minimum, he wants to go paddling out on the Banks Lakes, hit up all the little islands that have been created from Banks Lakes being created, go and do a bunch of swimming, and we also might do a hike of Steamboat Rock if the wildflowers are still out and if we have time. And also, we may also, if we don't do that, we may go do some bouldering, because there is some granitic boulder outcrops at Steamboat Rock that have been cataloged in the Spokane bouldering book. Not a lot of them, because it's a newly filling out and beta-ing area, but I mean, why not? We're already going to be out there. It's going to be the right time of year, and I know we want to do it, so I might as well.